Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a FIT one-year review. I have been here, I'm going to say I've been here for a whole year because I have a couple weeks left, but I don't think that those couple weeks are going to change anything of what I think of the school in general because I've been here for first and pretty much all of second semester. So I thought I'd go ahead and do a review while all this stuff is laying on my mind. I've had a notebook that I've been kind of collecting little points and stuff to kind of share with you guys and let you guys know if you're thinking about going to FIT, because I know whenever I was planning on going to FIT, I was watching every single video that I possibly could. So I'm just going to be out here sharing my experience and telling you guys how this year has been going for me and the classes and making friends and just living in the city on your own for the first time. All of that I'm just going to cover and let you guys know my experience in my review. So let's get into it. I am a AMC major, which is Advertising and Marketing Communications, and I moved to New York right after I turned 18. So it was my first time living on my own, first time living in a dorm and with other people, sharing a room and everything. Like, this has all been a whole new experience for me. Also, I'd like to say that everybody has different experiences. I know that a lot of people transferred back home after the first semester because FIT just wasn't for them. It's unlike any other college that I have seen before. It's not like we have campus and football games to go to and sororities and all that stuff. No, it's not like that at all. It could be a really good thing for a person, or it can be something that makes a person feel kind of left out and feel like they're missing something from the normal college experience. Overall, everybody's experience here would be different, but I'm just sharing my 2 cents. I'm kind of an introverted person. I have my moments where I'm extroverted, but for the most part, I pretty much keep to myself. I'm not extremely outgoing, and I usually get kind of nervous in group settings or kind of intimidated by them. Usually just kind of depends who I'm around, but that always made me super nervous whenever I thought about coming to FIT, because I was wondering, I'm gonna be all by myself besides my brother who lives here. Besides him, I'll be completely by myself and I'll have to make friends and like really get myself out there so I'm not completely alone. So I was really nervous about that, but one of the things that really helped with making my nerves at ease more would be joining the FIT little Facebook group chat for my class, which was the FIT class of 2021. I joined that as soon as I got accepted into the school, and I was able to meet a lot of people and talk to them online, even from back home. That's how I made one of my really good friends, Brooke, and we've been great friends since we have been talking. So I would really suggest getting online and looking into doing that and talking to pretty much anyone that you can, because that's a really great way to meet somebody. Everybody is new here, everybody's looking for a friend, so I kind of doubt anyone will be rude to you. And if they are, then whatever, that's just them. Some people are just rude people, and you just move on to the next person. So the Facebook group chat really left me at ease because I was able to talk to people and kind of realize that a lot of people were a lot like me, in the sense that they were kind of down to earth and just like easy to talk to and stuff. Because whenever it come to other people my age, I would get super intimidated because it always seemed like I was just like a completely different person than them and I could never really relate. So talking on the group chat really helped me, and seeing that a lot of people are actually just like me. Going to a creative school is definitely a lot different than just going to a normal school, and it kind of reassured me that I won't be alone because everybody's doing this for the first time as well, so it's all good. Getting accepted was super nerve-wracking because I had to wait longer than most schools had to wait to get their acceptance letters out. FIT got me my acceptance letter at the end of March, I believe, or maybe the very beginning of April. I'm not sure, but it was like a lot later than everyone else. So in high school, I remember everyone saying, oh, I got accepted to this place and that place, whatever. And I was just sitting there like, yeah, well, still haven't been accepted. That's fine. Once I got accepted, it was just like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I started talking to people online, and then all summer it was easy breezy. Every time I would think about it, I would just get excited, and I wasn't nervous at all until I finally got to the school and I was moving into my dorm and everything. I was getting a little bit nervous then because it was all coming together. And the day that my parents left, I was actually sick with nervousness, and I almost threw up a couple times, like I could not eat anything. I cried like the whole day just thinking about them leaving. In that moment, I almost got back in the car and went home because it was just so much, so intimidating, and all of a sudden I was getting cold feet. I ended up deciding to stay. I thought if I could just try this out for a couple weeks, and if I absolutely hate it, I'll just go back home and it's not going to be that big of a deal. I would rather just try it out just to see if I like it, and then if I don't, then that's fine, I'll just go back home. But if I don't try it, I know I'll always be wondering, what if I really enjoyed the school and had the time of my life and all this stuff? But then I would just throw that away and come back home. It just would have been so much for me. So I decided to stay, which I'm so happy that I did. This school has been the best thing that has probably ever happened to me, just because I've learned so much as a person and I've grown so much, and every day it just feels surreal still that I have even been accepted to this school and that I've actually made friends and that I live in New York. It's just, sometimes it gets me emotional just because it's just so amazing, and I can't imagine ever doing anything differently with my college career. It's going to be a major adjustment, but that's going to be with any college if you decide to go to college. It's honestly so worth it. If you just tell yourself, I'm just going to try this for 2 weeks. If I don't like it, no biggie, I'll just go back home. Just to get you to stay for a couple weeks, just to test the waters. You should definitely do it. Just try it, throw away your doubts, and don't get upset if you have cold feet, because that is such a normal thing, especially with such a huge adjustment. It's just like, hits you like a brick wall. But I think the major thing that was really bothering me that day was the fact that my parents left, because as soon as they left, I was like, okay, gotta make myself busy. So I got in my room and started organizing everything, and that whole day ended up being fine afterwards. All my nerves went away. Ever since then, I have been extremely happy here. So next subject that I would like to talk about is, I know I sound like a teacher with my little glasses, next subject. A big topic in question here is, am I going to make friends at FIT? I have always watched videos and would hear people talk about how hard it is and how everyone's so stuck up and everything, but honestly, I have not had that experience. I think it's almost easy to make friends here. I think that, for one, if you just talk to people over the summer online and follow people on Instagram and kind of keep tabs on them, I feel like everybody is pretty open to being friends with you. And since this is also new for everybody, no one's gonna really completely be mean to you just because everybody wants another friend. That's just something that we all want. We all want to be accepted and have a nice little group and people to hang out with, so I really don't think that anyone's going to be straight up rude to you. Meeting in person can be kind of a different task because it is so nerve-wracking, and I think a lot of the times people are just awkward in themselves. They don't really know how to approach people or like continue a conversation with somebody, so it can be a little more difficult. Honestly, if you just say, hi, what's your name? What's your major? Where are you from? All this stuff are like the most basic questions. Everybody has an answer for them, and everyone will probably be polite and be kind to you because, like I said, everybody wants a friend. Also, since you make other friends, they will also have other friends, and then you'll just continue to add people into your group as the year progresses, and that's what my situation has been like. At the beginning of the year, I only knew Brooke, and I met her online, and then I also met Emma at orientation, and then I brought them both together. We all hung out, and we all really hit it off and really liked each other, so we've hung out every single week since then. Emma has roommates, so she was friends with them, brought them into her group. Brooke is in fashion design, so she has some friends from fashion design and then would bring them into our group. Also, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody online. I know that I would follow a million people on Instagram but only be actually friends with just a couple people. Even though we all live in the same building and we all go to the same school, it was like we just knew of each other but we weren't actually friends. So one thing that you can do is just reach out to them online and say, hey, I love your pictures, I think you seem so fun, let's hang out sometime, and I'm sure they'll probably love that. That's how I've also made a couple more friends from just reaching out to them online, and I find that everyone is actually super friendly. Another thing I would like to mention is don't expect your roommates to be your best friends. This one was something I just kind of expected whenever I came here. I thought, oh, since we'll be living together, we'll just hang out all the time. But I quickly learned that that is not always the case. Just don't get let down if you're expecting your roommate to be your bestie, and it doesn't happen every single time. And the last thing I would like to say about friends is to find somebody who actually likes to go do stuff. There's so many things you could do in the city. Even if you don't want to spend money, you can go to parks and go to museums that you can get into for free with your FIT ID. That really rhymed. There are a million blogs and articles and stuff about things that you can do in the city that are free or cheap. So just find people that actually like to go do stuff. You really have to take advantage of that if you're in the city. Don't just sit in your dorm and do homework constantly. Like, actually go and see new things, because it really just helps you grow as a person. If you're living in the city, you might as well just take advantage of what's out here. And lastly, the most important part is the actual school, the classes and schedules and everything. So a lot of people have this misunderstanding that FIT is super easy and you don't ever do any work and you don't ever go to class or anything like that. And that's not true. There are actually classes here. There is homework.
It's a real school, people.
The work here is hard, but it's definitely doable. It really depends on who your professor is. One thing that really helps out is rate my professors. I always check my professors and their ratings before I sign up for any class, because I honestly think that there's nothing worse than a bad professor. Just a lot of misunderstanding and miscommunication and confusion. So if you could look on Rate My Professor, find somebody that people are saying good things about, definitely take their class, because all the teachers have experience in the work field, which is incredible. And a lot of my professors have had some amazing advice and are just really down to earth, kind of spunky and fun. So it actually makes class enjoyable and worthwhile, because I always feel like I'm learning something that really is going to apply to my life, rather than just sitting in a class for 3 hours and thinking, when am I ever going to use this? When is this ever going to be important in my life? So it's really cool to have teachers that actually know what they're talking about whenever it comes to being in the fashion industry or the business side of things. The place where I've learned the most has been just the city in general, being out in the world, going places constantly, seeing new sights and going to museums, hanging out with new groups of people. I feel like the experience is just more than what any class could teach me, honestly. Like, I love my classes and everything, but just being in the city in general and just learning new things constantly is the most rewarding thing that I could ever even imagine. It was just kind of amazing. So to wrap things up, I don't know if this helped at all. I'm just kind of explaining my experience personally. Everybody might have a different way of looking at things, so I don't know. Maybe helpful, maybe completely not useful. Honestly, this has been the best year of my... Smoke another one, Lauren. Honestly speaking, this has been the best year of my entire life, I think. I've learned so much, grown so much, and just been the happiest that I've ever been since I've lived here. I've met so many amazing people. I'm learning new things every single day about the world and about myself in general, and it all just kind of feels natural, honestly. If you have the ability to go here, I would definitely say try it out. Even if it's just for a little while, or might be for a full 4 years. I think that you can't get these kind of experiences anywhere else, and I really think that it's a pretty cool thing. If you're thinking about coming to FIT, do it. Sign up, fellers. This is the place to be. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video helped a little bit in my ramblings, and I will see you guys in my next one. Also, if you have any questions about FIT, I would love to answer them. Leave them down below, and I'll answer right back. So I'll see you guys in my next one.